everyone. This is Jessica Bartels with Help You Sell Full Service Realty. Today I am here with RJ Elizarez, founder and owner of Oak Forest Recovery here in a beautiful Agora Hills. What I really love most about Oak Forest is that this is more than just a recovery center or a sober living. This is a new way of life that RJ has created for these men. He's teaching them these amazing, healthy new habits, and it's just, you can really see it, and it's incredible. And I'm going to let RJ speak to that a little bit more. RJ, do you want to kind of tell us like what differentiates you guys from other treatment centers or recovery houses, recovery centers in the area?
Hey guys, I'm RJ. Thanks for tuning in. I think what separates us and differentiates us really is the fact that Oak Forest has a really incredible structure. And the structure is entirely created out of my own recovery and those recoveries that I've seen that I admire the most, right? And so we've got a brotherhood here. It's an all-male facility, so we're gender specific, and I think that's also really important. It creates this really cool camaraderie, and then that camaraderie is all being facilitated within the high structure environment that we created here. So we get guys up, and this may sound a little bit early, 5:30 in the morning.
That is very early.
It is, and it's funny because a lot of guys before they come in, they're like 5:30 in the morning. There's no way I can do that. And then once they get here, and when you're around 15 other guys similar to your same age, going through the same struggles, and they're all up at 5 in the morning having breakfast with not only myself, but Jerry and Marcos and some of the senior guys that have been here and alumni, it's no longer a chore to wake up like for school, like when I was a kid. It becomes this really fun summer camp. And I don't know if you've ever been to summer camp, but when I went, I was one of the first kids up, and all the kids got up because we were excited to start the day, right?
Totally.
And so we've created this environment here where 5:30 in the morning, we're not actually waking anybody up. They're excited to get up. They're usually up before me, and everyone's in the kitchen, having fun, and the sun's not even up yet. Imagine we've got kids that are 18 years old up to guys that are, well into their 70s, all having breakfast, having coffee, listening to music, and having fun at 5 in the morning. And then we go to a 7 a.m. meeting, and then I bring all the guys to the gym for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's a mandatory thing. These things are not optional. And in the beginning, you'll get some pushback from some of the guys, but there's this male camaraderie that happens, and it's only facilitated through those structured events that we do, right? Getting up in the morning, going to a morning meeting, going to the gym, training together, playing basketball together, and just doing fun things that I think a lot of it has to do with, guys are, they're nervous and they're scared. I'm going to the gym. I've never been to the gym before. Am I going to look bad? And to have a group of guys pull you through that fear, get through it, and then find that it's a whole bunch of fun, is part of the magic of that camaraderie that's built. And from the gym, we come home. Some of the guys go to therapy. There's a lot of different intensive outpatients that we work with, an entire network of doctors, psychiatrists, therapists. And I think one of the things that makes Oak Forest kind of unique from a lot of other places, we put a lot of care into making sure that the clients that do come here get the right treatment, right? So not only are they doing the routine here, they get all the male camaraderie, but they're seeing the right doctors, they're seeing the right psychiatrists, they're seeing the right therapists. We have a family dinner night on Tuesday nights. My dad actually comes here and cooks for everybody.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's fun. Everyone gets to meet my dad. They get to meet my family.
But that's what's like so special that you don't get in other places, right? Is like you've created this culture and this like environment for these men to grow and establish like a new routine and a new way of life, and it's just like really beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think what I tell a lot of the guys here, and what I tell a lot of parents is everybody that comes in here becomes a part of my family.
Totally.
Right? And I become a part of their family. And we become brothers on a united mission. And what's cool about the Tuesday night dinner is all the alumni are invited. So we get a lot of guys that came to the house, a year ago, 2 years ago. Their parents still come, and it just turns into this really fun environment where we're all cooking dinner, eating dinner.
And how fulfilling that you can see these guys that started and when they were new and didn't really have a path, and then they get to come back and kind of see like the way it works, and you get to see the way it works in other people's lives. And
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
like pretty incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what would you say like drove you to open this business in the first place? Because really at the end of the day, this is, you know, a business that you're running, but you also get to see like the beauty of what happens when you can.
Totally. You know, I think what first inspired me was my recovery journey started when I was about 20. I turned 21 in my first rehab. I was in Utah, and I went to a 45 to 60 day inpatient treatment center, and then I went to an all-male sober living in Salt Lake City, and I connected so well with the guys there. You know, I got into the gym, I got into fitness, I got into healthy eating, healthy habits, and I finally felt like a certain camaraderie and a brotherhood and a family that I'd never experienced before. I stayed sober for about 4 years from that. And I had a relapse, and then started a tour of a lot of different treatment centers and sober livings, and I could never recreate what I found in Utah. And so when I got sober this time, I wanted to make sure that I could recreate what I found in my first sobriety, but then add all the principles of spirituality and the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And so that was what I set out and strived to do, and I think we achieved it, and I think we passed the mark. So.
Yeah, I think so. And is that what continues to motivate you now, like just that drive to provide something that you haven't seen anywhere else?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I love that. And what has surprised you most about owning a business or running a business? Like I know you've worked, you know, with your father in the past, and you've seen him, and he's really been a mentor to you with, you know, teaching you how to run a business and own a business. But like, what has surprised you so far?
Oh man, I think the biggest surprise of running and owning a business has been the deep relationships that are created with the employees, right? Because I think one of the most important things to me is that anybody I work with and anybody who works for me feels like family. And I didn't expect it to be to the level that I've now found in owning and running a business. But the guys that work with me, I'd lay my life on the line.
Yeah.
So, you know, the deep relationships that are created. I think a business is only as good as the relationships that are created within it.
I love that. And I mean, just in my experience and, you know, the business world and working, like it's really, really difficult to really love the place you work at when you don't love the people you work with.
Oh, absolutely.
Or your employer.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm sure, so incredible to be able to come here, come to work, see what you've built, and like be able to really relate and enjoy the people that, you know, work with you. And I'm sure that they feel the same about you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, yeah.
I hope so. You have to set up some interviews with
Totally.
them to get the inside scoop on that. But
For sure.
I think that they would mirror the same thing.
Totally. So. And then what would you say is something that most people don't know about Forrest?
God, I would say one of the things that most people don't know about Oak Forest is that my life is totally transparent to everybody that's around. And they don't really understand the depth of that until they live here.
Totally.
Right? There is nothing in my life that is secret.
Yeah. And that must be hard for you too, though.
It's you know what, it's put a very interesting, it's created such an incredible wellspring of trust and relationship building, because these guys, they can track where I am 24/7, right? So they know every move I make when I'm here, when I'm not here, where I go, who I see, and everybody in my life. I mean, they know everything.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, because you know what that allows me to do is you know, I have the ability to ask to know everything in their life because they know everything in my life.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like it just shows that you do the things that you're asking them to do.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah, lead by example.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. And I just want to ask, like, what are your goals within the next year? Like, where do you see, what are your next steps? Like, where do you see this going?
Yeah, I think my goals are to definitely see, you know, right now we're an all men's house. I would love to see a women's house open, and I would love to see a second men's house open. I think that what we do really well here at Oak Forest is the high structured environment, the family environment, and I want to recreate that for women.
Definitely.
And I want to expand my capacity for men. And I think I always want to use the local community for all the resources as far as doctors, psychiatrists, and therapists.
I have to say, when I first got sober, the thing that really kept me in it was the fellowship with the other women, and that's something I didn't know before I got sober, and it was just so huge for me to start making those relationships and getting into a routine. And that's like, you know, like we've talked about, like those habits, those like healthy habits, and like being around people and being around family, like those are the things that like really kept me going. And I think like having something like this for women would just be so incredible.
Absolutely.
In our area. So I'm fully behind that.
Yeah, maybe I can get you to work there.
I would love that. Anything you need help with, I'm here. So we're kind of going to switch gears a little bit. And obviously you and I've had a history, like we've known each other for a long time, since high school, and but I'm going to ask you some questions about our neighborhood.
Okay.
How long have you lived here for? I mean, you've grown up around here, right?
Yeah, so I was actually born at Los Robles Hospital in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah.
I grew up all across Thousand Oaks, Westlake, Agora, Newbury Park, but primarily Westlake and Oak Park.
So it's pretty cool, like owning a business and living in the area that you. Yeah, Davis and I always talk about how much we love it here and how we never want to leave.
Oh yeah,
it's so great.
I think that that was probably one of the other reasons why I started a business here. Is I love this area.
Yeah.
I think that Westlake Village, Agora Hills, the Conejo Valley is one of the most incredible places to raise a family,
100%.
to raise kids. I grew up my whole life in Westlake.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little kid running the streets of Westlake, and not once did I ever feel worried or scared. And wow, you know, I never want to leave. I want my kids to grow up here. Yeah. So
I agree. It's been, you know, Davis and I have owned a few homes in the area now, and luckily he's a realtor, so it's easy to like find places. And I have to say, like, everyone that we've come across, our neighbors, these communities, it's been so incredible. And to see how great our schools are in this area, mean, it's just, I feel blessed to live here.
I had the unique opportunity of going to Westlake High School, then I went to Oak Park, and then I went to Newbury Park.
Did you really?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't, you know, one of the reasons I started this business is obviously I had some struggles at a younger age.
Totally.
So Westlake asked me to leave, and then Oak Park asked me to leave, and I finally was in Newbury Park. And I can definitely say that I love the experience of all three of those schools.
Definitely. And is there anything you would want to see improve about our area, if anything? I mean,
you know, it's hard to say. I think that, you know, the one area that I thought about was, you know, do we have more stuff for kids to do in the later evenings, right?
Yeah.
And with the recent open of Dave & Buster's in Thousand Oaks, I mean, everyone seems to be going there. Everyone seems to love it. I still haven't gone yet. However, I'm planning on it. Yeah. I'm just excited to see that other people in the area have somewhere to go.
Yeah, definitely. And I think maybe that would have been, I don't know if it would have been a game changer for us in our future, but I think that having something, you know, on the boulevard, like in Teal Boulevard, and I know that's things that they're working on in our community is kind of like building it up a little bit more, but doing it in a way that is like still modest and reserved. Like they're not going to turn it into the valley or anything, but just creating environments for, you know, young people to go and spend their evenings. So I think that would be awesome. And what's the most memorable experience you've had so far, like just, you know, working in this business?
I think the most memorable experience I've had is there was a kid who came in, and he was 20. He had a birthday before he turned 21.
How crazy.
He came in and he had never had a license.
Wow.
He had never worked a job in his life. He had never paid bills. He had never lived a normal life.
Yeah.
Ever, right? Today, it's a year and a half later. He has a license. He bought his own car. His family is a part of my family now. His family trusts him. And he has a full-time job working in treatment, being paid like $20 an hour, and fully supports himself.
It's incredible.
A year and a half later.
How crazy.
He went 20 years never working a job, never driving a car. Today he owns his own car, he pays his own bills, has his own job that supports himself, and has the complete trust of his family. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, that he's somebody that will be a part of my life forever.
Definitely.
And those are the experiences, that having been in this business now for a little while, are they're priceless.
Totally. I would imagine that that's what keeps you going every day.
Totally.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, is there anything that you want to share with me, that you want to share with the viewers of this video about, any exciting things that are happening with Oak Forest or with you, or?
I think exciting things is, Oak Forest is obviously continuing to grow. I think currently right now we're looking for another house, hopefully going to expand our capacity. And like I said, I really would love to offer services like this to women in the future, definitely on the roadmap. And then on the other side, I started another business called Mad Rose Media, which is a full production business. We do video production, high-end content for corporate stuff. So that'll be coming soon. I'm sure you'll learn some more about that.
Totally.
Maybe we'll do another interview on that.
Yeah, I would love to.